just like me, so I think we both have respect for each other, outside of the ring. But inside of the ring, there's not going to be no respect, no friends, but between me and him. But we just got to put up that switch on, and then it's go time.
Saudi Arabia, a bit of a curveball for a lot of people. Certainly, it seemed for you at one point. You were saying you weren't sure, you hadn't heard what had happened there. At what point did you realise that was where the fight was going to be happening, and you were happy to go there and have the rematch?
No, we didn't. We didn't know that I was going to be over there. My team and his team were negotiating to see where it was going to be at, and thanks to Al Heyman and PBC, we made it to an agreement, and Al Heyman, and we took the fight in Saudi Arabia. Best place, an historic place where a lot of historic things happen. I made historic things, so it's a perfect way to go over there in Saudi Arabia and make history all over again.
Of course, you're going there as world heavyweight.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I was just listening to a segment of Andy Ruiz's interview on Fight Hub TV. Shouts out to them. And he said that Anthony Joshua, of course, is a good guy. So is he. They have respect for each other, but he won't have any respect for Anthony Joshua inside the ring. No friends, no nada. Right? Okay. Now, I paused it because I had to counterpunch a particular topic that came up about Saudi Arabia. He was negotiating for it not to be in Saudi Arabia. He wanted to be in Mexico. He wanted to be over here in the States. Naturally, he's the champ or whatnot. Now, it's funny to me how now Andy Ruiz is talking up Saudi Arabia, versus where he was like, whatever happened to, I'm not going over there. I don't know about my safety. We're calling the shots. I'm not going over there. You don't listen to that. I'll have the real news soon. Remember that? Now it's, oh man, it's a beautiful place, and please come, and it's an opportunity, and it's so many historic things that's happening there. It's a trip how people change tune. I think it's the difference of a couple $1 million. But I will say this: when he shouted out Al Heyman's name, Al Heyman was the reason for him getting more money. That is what I just extracted from this, and that's my understanding, that Al Heyman negotiated more money. Like, okay, if we're going to Saudi Arabia, you're going to give us more money. You're going to give Andy Ruiz more money. And indirectly give me more money. So, yeah, I can see why that happened, but money talks. That's really basically what it is. So let's move on with the rest of it, because it's another topic I want to cover here.
Champion, how's life changed for you since during the first amazing night?
It changed everything. It changed a lot, not just for me, but for my family's life, my kids' life. We don't have to really struggle no more how we were by paying the bills, the rent, stuff like that. I'm really blessed, and I just give all the glory to God and how He changed my life.
I think it was Marvin Hagler who said that it's hard to get up and go running when you're wearing silk pajamas. Now, obviously, you know what he's talking about there. How have you found that? I know camp hasn't started yet, but in terms of motivation now, you've cracked it. Your dreams have come true. You've made a lot of money now. What is it that keeps you going? What is it that gets you up running in the morning?
It's my kids, my kids, my family. My wife's always motivating me as well. And I think if you have that positive energy always around you, you're always going to do good. You're always going to think smart. You're always going to be confident, So I think that's one of the big factors in your life, having positive people around you. And of course, I'm still hungry. I'm still motivated. I want more legacy. I want to win more fights. I want to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And I'm not looking past Anthony Joshua or nothing, but we got to get that win in December 7th.
There's also an expression in boxing that you can have someone's number. Do you feel like you've got Anthony Joshua's number? Do you feel like he's a person, because of your style, you will beat 10 times out of 10?
You know what? His style is perfect for me. I don't think whatever he does, I don't think is going to make any difference. He could move around, he could jab around, but I'm always going to be there. If he moves to the left, I'm going to be in the left throwing combinations. So that's the different purpose between me and other fighters. So, and that's what makes me a different champion.
Wow. Now that is what I wanted to talk about. Andy Ruiz states that it will not make any difference if or whatever Anthony Joshua does. Anthony Joshua could lose weight, move around, jab around like he says. He moves to the left, he's going to be there. Moves to the right, he's going to be there. You know, and the thing is, I'm looking at this fight, and I see Manny Robles. He is talking about Andy and what makes him different from other heavyweights is that he throws punches like, you know, his punch placement, his punch style. He attacks like, you know, to the body upstairs with great and beautiful combinations like Chavez Sr., Marco Antonio Barrera, and like Eric Morales, right? Now, I didn't see that the first fight. I seen some beautiful combinations. I seen him throwing those punches when he got hurt. Only when he got hurt. Okay? And then that what allowed him to throw those combinations because he knew the green light was a go because he seen Anthony Joshua stumble back, right? So I don't see him I'm not saying I don't see him doing that in the next fight because we don't know what he's going to do in the next fight. However, I didn't see that in the first fight. I seen someone that had good counterpunching, but I have to agree with Andy Ruiz. His style is perfect for Joshua. Joshua's height, he's 6'6". Andy Ruiz's height, he's 6'2". Ruiz is accustomed to fighting bigger guys like that. So it's a plus for him. He's not accustomed to fighting small guys. I have to keep saying that. I have to keep that in mind to people. Smaller fighters are not the ideal fights, especially for someone like Joshua fighting someone that's 4 inches taller than him. I mean, shorter than him, right? So, does he have his number? We have to see. Because what I saw because I saw that fight numerous of times, like, okay, what happened really? You know, and how that fight unraveled. Andy Ruiz, the style was perfect because where he threw that left, it landed in a perfect area. You know, some fighters can match up a certain way and throw certain punches that if the defense is not there, if Joshua doesn't not have his hands up and he was flailing like he was and he's doing that again, trying to inflict more pain on Andy Ruiz when he thought he was hurt, that could happen again. He could hit him in that same place due to the height difference, right? The reach of Andy Ruiz, the distance, that could happen again. You know, not to say Andy Ruiz can't go down. Okay, that's not, because he never went down. So both fighters went down. That is the good thing about it. That's what kind of equals it and balances it out. Because if Anthony Joshua wouldn't have got that knockdown in the third round, it's funny, if he wouldn't have got the knockdown, he wouldn't have got knocked down. I'm for certain. Because what'll happen, Joshua didn't start throwing a lot of punches like that until he thought that Andy Ruiz was hurt. Andy Ruiz didn't throw punches like he said he's going to throw in the next fight, which I hope he does, because I want to see an exciting fight like that, and I want to see how Joshua adjusts to those rapid punches that he's throwing, right? And he didn't throw those punches like that either until he got him hurt. So we have to see what type of fight this is going to be. What I did witness, though, is that Andy Ruiz did not like the idea of Joshua moving around. He didn't. He did not like that. That's why I know, and I think that if he would have got in the 8th or 9th round, Ruiz would have slowed down. But here's the problem. Joshua would have slowed down too, right? You can't come in at 247 pounds and carry all that weight. Now you've shredded it off. Yeah, you know what I mean? And expect to carry that, though. Right? He wouldn't have made it in that, you know. But here's the good thing about Joshua. He probably wouldn't have been hurt. He probably would have recovered. How do you think he knocked out Klitschko? He knocked out Klitschko because he was able to recover. Because Klitschko's game plan was to get him into the late rounds and knock him out. The only problem was he recovered by that point. He had got that second win, right? He had gassed up enough air in his lungs so his body could work properly. That's what he'd done. That's what happened in the Klitschko fight. And then, uppercut. Almost took his head off. That's what happened. The punch that changed everything. Right? So, Andy Ruiz saying whatever he does, it won't make a difference. I think that's great confidence. However, it could be one of those situations where if you come in too overconfident, he may forget what Joshua did to him that started all this. Because this could have been a chess match like Parker and Joshua. It could have been another fight like that. Could have been another fight where Joshua stayed at a distance, tried to box off his back foot, Ruiz coming forward, right? So, not to say Ruiz couldn't win a decision, but who knows? You know what I mean? It didn't go that far. But what Andy Ruiz said, I agree with him 50%. I think that he has a perfect style to beat Joshua. You know, with his hand speeds, his height, and his distance. If he can get to that distance, the punches are going to automatically land. Because again, Ruiz didn't even know he landed that punch until he seen the reaction from the punch, because he was being attacked and he threw that left just out of muscle memory and reflex, right? Because he knew, okay, well, I'm going to throw, because he was dipping down, so he threw the left hook. Boom! He didn't even see it landed until he was like, oh shit, I got him. You know what I mean? That's what happened, right? So, but whatever he does, it won't make a difference. I don't know about that, because he could get caught with an uppercut or a left hook that put his ass back down again. You know what I mean? And if Andy has a good chin and he took that first punch, that left hook, it might, because if Joshua does the same thing he did before, he knows, okay, this time I know this guy has a chin, so I know I won't rush in and attack. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Andy Ruiz's interview. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.